Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. As always, want to invite everybody. Join us over on Patreon. Lots of exclusives coming up over there each week. Unique material that doesn't go up anywhere.
This is true.
And it does help us to support doing this. Oh, okay. We have a couple main things we're going to touch on. We have the U.S. Treasury saying they've been hacked by China. This will be the year, sources say, let's just say there's a buzz that this will be the year we actually may see some sort of currency change. You might actually see this year, maybe a switch to a digital dollar or something else. And, who's going to go first? Is it going to be the U.S. and the NATO side, or it will be China, Russia, and the BRICS side? That's really an interesting thing to keep track of. You have also a whistleblower at the CIA, here you see, supposedly, and again, this is just all for entertainment purposes, coming forward to say that, we're talking about those dews, the dew that doesn't come up in the morning, although we're going to be touching on some misty subjects as well, or foggy subjects. What they're trying to say is that the CIA is saying, yes, these type of weapons, these energy weapons were in fact used, but guess who they're going to blame it on? Go back to the first topic. Yeah, again, it's all about inflaming that WW hashtag number 3. This is absolutely the reality. The Maui fires was a land grab, just like North Carolina, which is currently ongoing. Keep in mind, historically, this is September 24th, 1800, the extinction of the buffalo, it's entitled. The U.S. government encouraged massive buffalo slaughter, which then led to starvation of many Native Americans because they relied on the buffalo for food and it was taken from them. It was a mass grab of a resource, which then left the indigenous people impoverished, and they also had obviously their land taken from them, and they were shuffled from one reservation to another. What happened in the past is happening now. This is part of that cycle. It's the same cycle. It's not a different cycle. It's the same. And then we're going to talk about the fog. You remember John Carpenter's with the fog? We were talking about this the other day. Or the movie The Mist that came out, which was, in my mind, many times worse than the fog. This was the military opening up a dimensional portal to another world. All sorts of creatures come in and decide that there's nothing in the grocery store that looks more appetizing than us. Yeah, this was a pretty scary movie. Pretty scary. What are we really watching ongoing? Again, when they give us these scripts, we have a lot of things that are being telegraphed right before our very eyes. This is, again, that tunnel over there by CERN. This kind of looks like an eye, but it kind of looks like a dimensional portal with big things coming through. Yeah, you cannot make this stuff up. Tell you what, if this was a video, this video, if this was a video that was playing, this video would be restricted. We did a video earlier in which about 10 seconds you see a ceremony where the Queen is lighting a DNA, well, it's lights, Christmas lights in the shape of a DNA pattern. And because of that, that video was demonetized. Copyright infringement. They don't want any of this showing. I don't think they could do it for a picture, but we'll see. If so, then today's work was for nothing. Yeah, monetarily. A lot more going on than just that. This is, by the way, part of the same ceremony. Yeah, people are starting to figure out that we are living in the midst of demonic entities that are literally and have been running this show. They pose like they're good guys, but they're really demons opening the gates, opening portals for other demonic entities. Oh, yeah. You can't make it up. Everybody is talking about this. Anybody else seeing videos like this circulating in social media, talking about unusual amounts of fog, odd odor attached to it, etc. Vids are coming in from all over Canada, some in the U.S. What's really going on here? Sita's very upset here. She doesn't like this. This is giving her ominous feelings here. Yeah, it really, really is. I mean, we understand the geoengineering side of it. It's declassified. In fact, we had a video taken down recently that at first hit me like, why are they taking this down? Because this was a 3-year-old video, 3 years old. Why are they taking it down? Well, it was the subject matter. So as you see here, again, reports from around the globe. Mysterious illnesses linked to encounters with fogs that seem to be chemical. Thick, lingering blankets. People are getting sick. Sudden cold or flu-like symptoms, only after brief exposure. What in the world could really be going on here? And this one says, hey, Elon, there's no way you don't know what's happening in our skies. Why are you silent? What is this dry, seemingly chemical fog that's ongoing? You must be breathing it too. And this is saying, pay attention. Fog should have moisture. I just drove through this thick fog, which by definition is when water condenses and creates tiny water droplets. All my life I have had to use windshield wipers in the fog. Not anymore. This is a dry chemical fog. Yeah, fake fog. This is from Mississippi. And here you have another case. This is Florida, 6:30 a.m. It's not snowing. No. Yeah, we've seen this. I've seen this myself in the middle of the night many times. And this is a video we did 3 years ago, which touched on the same subject matter as the video that was taken down. And what we shared was about Denisovans and Neanderthals, what really happened to them. And this video right here, I'll put the link in as always. We're talking about what happened to them, what we've gotten from the guides, and what we remote viewed. They were let's say their demise was very, very foggy. Well, wait a minute. There's no, Boeing 737s in the skies in those days. No, same control system. Absolutely. There was airships, as we've talked about. You could go all the way back thousands of years, BC. And the Vimanas talk about, in the Hindu scriptures, the Vimanas are airships. They're ships where people are traveling in the air. It was just an accepted fact. There were beings that we at least took that they were well more advanced than we are. They come and go. They leave in the sky. They come back from the sky. When it came to the Neanderthals and Denisovans, we saw that the system basically terminated their experiments and started anew with Homo sapiens sapiens because these beings were not controllable. They were simply not able to control them. This is what the system has done to many of those quote-unquote missing links in the hominid family tree. So, this video is 18 minutes and we're driving through New Mexico as we were living in New Mexico at the time and, discussing what happened to them. We ended up doing a follow-up video to this video, which got in depth and in which, Cindy was saying literally they didn't know it hit them because it came from the sky. And that's what wiped them out. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, as history does have a tendency to repeat itself.
Well, it was kind of interesting. I did mention in that other video there a couple of times about this blackness or darkness covering them up when I was trying to look at them to see exactly what had happened. But I think that was more of a mistranslation. I think I was seeing exactly what happened to them.
Well, you did later say, you did say that it was something that was sown in the sky above that literally took them out, so to speak. Of course, some genes are currently in us as well, some of us. And here you have a warning. Underwater volcano off the U.S. West Coast is primed to erupt in 2025. Well, I guess it depends on if it's part of the script. Ah, yes, absolutely. Some weird quakes, as you can see here. This one is just on the Ohio side, Hicksville, Ohio. We had some up here into Canada, 3.7, St. Boniface, Canada, 57 kilometers northwest of that particular area. So, you will see some along the St. Lawrence River. And, occasionally you'll see one here and there in Maine. This is the last 30 days. This seems a little bit more than typical, just saying. 2 men freeze to death looking for Sasquatch in the Oregon wilderness on Christmas Eve. Sasquatch is absolutely one of my favorite topics. Always found it really, really fascinating. And what we've gotten to with Sasquatch is Sasquatch was here before we were. It is a very real being. It's a dimensional being, a multi-dimensional being. So their way of escape from the system, because again, the system affected them too, was to basically ascend outside the reach of the system. And this is what we have with their existence. Now, these poor guys show what can happen if you're unprepared. And this just made me think of the Arctic blast that they say is coming around the 8th and 9th of January. Could be a 40 to 50 degree departure in some places from normal. That's huge. And what Cindy was getting from the guides is it is absolutely not, let's say, a natural event with no sort of enhancements going on. It's definitely being enhanced. But that's what the system does. It was part of the weather end of it in the Bible, when it said God again sent plagues, famine, and war. Well, again, it wasn't God. It was, again, the gods, or in a more accurate translation, those beings that watch humanity and judge humanity and rule over this planet, or at least our portion of this planet. There is a natural matrix too, and you could see it because when you look to things like food, you have walnuts, you open it up, it does look remarkably similar to a brain. They happen to be good for the brain. Carrots happen to be good for the eye, and they do have some sort of resemblance. You see ginger, absolutely, it could soothe an upset tummy. Lots of benefits to ginger. As you can see, kidney beans and kidneys, tomato and the heart, it goes on and on. The similarities, this is part of the natural matrix, which is fractal in nature. So again, as above, so below, as within, so without. If you can master your inner energy, and some people choose to tune out, and tuning out might not be a bad thing to do as long as you have a good sense of awareness of what's going on in your surroundings. It's cultivating the things that are going to raise us up in frequency. So, detoxifying in many ways, the GMO foods, the junk foods, obviously certain music. It was interesting. I was listening to somebody that plays like metal guitar being interviewed, and he said, that was in 440 drop A. Again, 440 was given to us by the Rockefellers, so to speak. And their whole system, it's 440 middle C is what they're talking about. 432 is more natural and harmonious. It's not a dissonant frequency. And everything about this world is dissonant. So again, by working and prioritizing the spiritual side of things, we can also find that our overall life will be enhanced as well.
It certainly will. A lot more people are getting drawn toward the energetic ways of things, and I think it's very, very exciting, and it's something that we all can learn, and we can all do, and we can all support each other with this new world that we are co-creating with one another. So and this little boy and this puppy here, what are they doing? They're just, so far, the puppy's just being a good boy while the little boy walks back and forth through his mud puddle. He just had to walk past the mud puddle, but wait, stop. Let's put the leash down and walk through that puddle again. He's having fun. It delights him. And the puppy is just being his loyal companion. He's like, okay, great. If that really makes you happy, dude, go walk through it again, and then we'll just kind of carry on. You know, shouldn't that be what relationships are like? I think it's kind of cute.
Absolutely. And the dog is like our guides, and we do have guides in life. You have guardian angels, you have loved ones that have passed on that are coaching and watching. And even if we go off and we are naughty and, you know, perhaps we're doing some things that are not in our best interest, they're not going to abandon you. And they will respond when you ask for help.
Indeed.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.